right. So, starting us off, the first of the questions, and I'm gonna ask this one, and I'm gonna let Dong Won answer it.
Really being put on the spot here.
I feel like it's more your area of expertise. Um, State of publishing in 2025. What's worse? How's querying and query quality? How's submission and editing response time? It seems like everything's on fire, but some of that might just be ambient societal collapse.
Uh, Thank you, Miri, for this very timely and relevant question. State of Publishing 2025. Okay. Yes, this does feel like my wheelhouse. How to answer this?
Go get the fire extinguisher now?
Yeah, I think this is just again. I saw it was a TikTok or a tweet or something about like we really overused the "this is fine dog" meme way too early. Like we had no idea how fine things were gonna get, and we've been using that thing for years. And I think that's kind of the vibe right now. So, State of Publishing 2025. On one hand, more of the same, right? Like, I think publishing continues to survive and weirdly thrive even when things are difficult. Um, in terms of what's going on right now, Romantasy remains huge. It is still booming. It is just, the dominant thing, especially in the SFF sector. Romantasy is doing very, very well and continues to grow and sort of be top of the charts. In a lot of ways, this is great because it keeps growing the readership. Publishers are very profitable right now. Those are all good things at the end of the day. So I'm stoked about that. Um, in terms of what's happening right now on a broader scale, obviously we are all dealing with tariff chaos. And the last time tariffs were introduced, or last time we ended up in a trade war, particularly with Canada, that had immediate and direct impact on publishing because the paper we print our books from comes from Canada. And so if we cannot get that paper or that paper becomes more expensive, then the unit cost of every book goes up, which means that we have to price books at higher points, which means fewer people are buying them, especially if we are in an inflationary or recessionary cycle, which we seem to be in. So this creates a lot of problems for making and selling books at a profit. This means that publishers are going to continue to be conservative about taking on new projects, taking on riskier projects. It is a very, very difficult time for debuts right now, and the current economic circumstances, I don't think, are going to improve that. We've seen a shift towards a kind of conservatism, not necessarily politically, but in terms of risk taking across the media landscape. We're seeing that in Hollywood, film and TV, video games, sort of every front that we're seeing the major players in those spheres really going towards safe bets and traditional bets in a lot of ways. And I think we're seeing that in publishing too. There's a lot of like return to what are the genres that and what are the, you know, story formats and what are the characters we've seen before. We're in a very like comfort food kind of moment, for better or for worse. I have some thoughts about that I won't get into here. Um, but that's kind of where we're at. So publishing, I don't think the business is at risk in any bigger way than it continues to be and has been for a long time. I think the romantasy boom is happening at a moment that is uh, useful for weathering the current chaos in terms of how much more expensive paper is about to get, how printing costs are continuing to go up, how just supply chain issues are going to be impacting us. I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of books you're looking for to coming out start slipping in pub dates because of this. I haven't seen that happen yet. No one's talking about that yet, but from the last time we did this, I can't not see that coming down the pipeline. So that's kind of where we're at on the business side. In terms of like your questions, Mary, in terms of querying and query quality, that I can't answer so much because I remain close to queries because my life is too busy. So I haven't been seeing a lot on that front. In terms of talking to friends, I think it kind of feels the same. The thing that I'm hearing a lot, and this may just be my particular subset of people, is a little bit of a frustration of like, where's the new thing? You know what I mean? I think that moment of comfort foodiness is wearing thin for those of us in the business, in part because like we all love those things, but also one of the biases you have when you work in a media business is towards novelty. You're always looking for new stuff just because you've seen more than most people. And so I think there's a little bit of like an itchiness among like agents right now and editors who are looking for like, okay, I've been seeing a lot of the same thing. Nothing's grabbing me. What's exciting? What's coming? Right. And so I think waiting for that pop is a little bit of what's happening right now. And I think the big question is, okay, romanticy is happening. How long is that happening for? What's next? And the answers those are unanswerable questions, right? I have some thoughts on it, but I do think we're going to be in this moment for a little while longer here. Submission and editing response times. I mean, not great. There's not enough people doing too many jobs and too much work. There are fewer and fewer editors doing more and more books. The fact that the world is chaotic and challenging and everyone's mental health is hanging on by one single thread does not contribute to good timing. That said, I actually have been seeing editorial response times in terms of like the editors I'm working with actually being quite on target. I think people, I think we're kind of out of the wave of like COVID and past, lockdown chaos and all that caused. I think people have settled into new working rhythms. I do think people sort of figured out new structures and like we're several years on at this point. So I'm seeing a lot more reliability in terms of when somebody says they're getting something that's actually showing up. There's some notable exceptions to that, but yeah, those things are kind of moving. Submissions, I haven't had a ton out on sub recently, so I don't have a lot of firsthand experience here, but again, people are making deals, things seem like they're moving forward. So I think that's hitting all the major bullet points.